Your mother obviously realized that you're seeking after God and she wants you to go to somebody who's very serious about this shit. So right now we're about to get serious. Get your pen and your paper out. You know what I'm saying? Get your pen and your paper out. Because there's a lot of laws to go through. Write down the 10 commandments. Write them all down. Exodus chapters 20, verses 1. Start from there. The first commandment is at Exodus chapters 20, verses 2. The 10th commandment is at Exodus chapters 20, verses 17. The 11th commandment is at Exodus chapters 20, verses 24. So I'm actually at the 4th commandment, which is the Sabbath day. So go to Exodus 20 right now. Write down Exodus 20 where the commandments is at. And if you can't do it, you don't have to write all this down right now. You can just write down verses and then get to work when you have some real free time to sit down. Because this is not, do this while Master is teaching. This is you sitting down on your own to study to show thyself approved and doing this for yourself. You know what I'm saying, my sister? And getting yourself in order. Right? Now, as I said, the first law, when he says the first commandment, I'm going to do a quick recap. The first commandment, thou shalt have no other gods. It says before me. It wasn't supposed to say before. It was supposed to say in front of me. So the other gods are these deities we were speaking about in Islam, in the Hindu religion that we just spoke about, all these other religions. God means angel. So he's saying, don't have any other angels before me, because none of us have seen the Father. So we always see his angels. So he's saying, don't have any other angels before me. Don't bring none of these. Don't pray to me through these demons, Shiva, Buddha, Kali. Don't pray to me through these things. And as I said before, and I'll say it again to everyone who's just joining the live, I do not teach the laws the same as everybody else. I teach the laws in its deepest aspect. And I need you to understand something. When Moses teaches the food laws, he wasn't only talking about food. He spoke about the meat, and then he spoke about a people that represents the wicked. As for instance, when he said, don't eat pork, he showed us the pork people. He said, this is the pork people. He called the people a pork people, a swine people. When he said, don't eat vulture, he called the people a swine. That's a lot, and I can't unpack all of that. But I'm telling you, this is how it was done. This is why Moses needed help. And I think this is why God gave me the name Masha. Lawgiver, Moses, Masha. Let's go. And I'm not Moses, by the way. I'm none of that. I'm not no prophet. I'm just a messenger. But the Bible said we would have the spirits of the prophets. We would have the spirits of Moses. We would have the spirit of Isaiah. We would have the spirit of Jeremiah. Because all these men got spirits. And the same spirit that came over these men to teach the word is the same spirit that will come over us. So then the next law is thou shalt make no graven images. A graven image is a carved image, whether out of gold, whether even if you get dirt and make a mold and then you have to carve out the eyes and stuff. No carvings. The word graven means carving, carve, right? So no carved images, and thou shalt not bow down to them, no matter what it is. The next commandment, right? Thou shalt not take Yahweh's name in vain. Now, anything that Yahweh said, anything that he puts out, his name goes with it. So once you're going against the truth, any of creation, anything, you're going against Yahweh and you're going against his name. The 4th commandment is remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Saturday is not the Sabbath, never have been. I've broken that down, and my sister, you will be able, if you're on my lives much. On everybody else, if y'all are on my lives much, my brothers, y'all same thing, right? If y'all are on the live much, y'all will realize I will break down Nebuchadnezzar's dream to y'all with a statue. I did it earlier on in the live outside, and I'll do it again. Thank you. I will break it down for you, and I will break down the gold and the silver and the brass empire, and why Saturday Sabbath is being thrown away, and why Saturday Sabbath was actually here in the first place. All praise unto the Most High Yahweh, power of Yeshua. Thank you for this meal. Bless this meal and true power in the name of Yahweh, your holy servant, in the name of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the holy ones in heaven and on earth. Hallelujah. Family, I'm going to eat and teach, so see with me. So, sundown Wednesday, yes, and ends on Thursday evening. So remember the Sabbath day, which is Thursday, right? The 5th commandment is honor thy father and thy mother, and thy days shall be long.
Number 3.
No matter what your father does, no matter what you did to your mama, you don't know who your mama was, and you don't know the type of man your father was. So don't follow your mama And mamas, stop teaching against the men. Stop teaching your children to hate the men. Because whether a child is being taken care of by his mother or father, he should what? Honor them. How do you honor your mother or father? By following the laws, statutes, and commandments. You honor your mother or your father by following the laws that they never followed. Because your mother and your father left each other, whether it's mommy's fault or daddy's fault. So how do you honor them? By you following the law. Does everybody understand what I'm saying before can I move on? How do you honor your mother and your father? By following the law. Does everybody understand? Can I move on? All right. Next law. Thou shalt not kill / murder. Because it wasn't kill, it was actually murder. Because you have to kill meat that you want to eat. You don't have to kill to eat. You have to kill meat that you want to eat. Right? Now, the word murder goes back to the word Holocaust. When you kill an animal and eat it, you're not murdering it. We don't eat humans. That's the reason why when a human takes the life of a next human, it becomes murder, because you're not going to eat the human. So you're and if you don't eat the human or eat the animal that you kill, normally you will put it up on an altar. It's a sacrifice. So when you kill somebody, when you murder somebody, you're actually doing a sacrifice unto Satan. Because the Most High never asked you to kill nobody. Next law. So the law is actually thou shalt not murder, not thou shalt not kill. The older text says thou shalt not murder. Next law. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Adultery in two ways. You're cheating on the father, and you're cheating on your husband, or you're cheating on your wife or your wives. Because you do have men that have more than one wife and still go out and cheat. Now, with that being said, adultery is when you cheat on your husband, or you cheat on your wife, or you cheat on God. Why? Because you worship a next God, so you're cheating on him. The children of Israel in the book of Hosea is a female. All the children of Israel is classed as a female. So us the female, God is the husband, and the whole 12 tribes of Israel is the woman. One woman. All of us 12 tribes together is one woman. And God is the husband. So we're cheating on our husband, which is our God. And when the woman herself cheats on her husband, that's also adultery. When a man cheats on his wife, that's also adultery. So we've been doing a lot of cheating. And the first person all of us cheated on was our father. Now, next law. Thou shalt not steal. When we got given this law, we were to a next nation, we were stealing. When Moses gave us this law, after we got this law, we took a lot of gold, silver, and even virgin women from nations that we went to war with. This law wasn't for us against the other nations, because the whole earth is ours. So if we take it from one of them that's been there before us, them not knowing that the God of the earth gave it to us, to them we're stealing. To them we're stealing, but it was always ours. So this law was made for you not to steal from each other, not to steal from the children of Israel. And when you're in slavery, also don't steal. Why? Because you're in slavery. If you steal, you're going to get the judgment. When our God is leading us, we can take anything from anybody. They can call it stealing all they want. We got his backup. So when the law of stealing was created, it was created for us not to steal from each other. Next law. Thou shalt not bear false witness. That's telling a lie. Thou shalt not tell a lie. Bear a false witness against your neighbor. If you tell a lie against your neighbor, you're breaking one of the 10 commandments. Stop lying on thy neighbor. I don't care if these neighbors hurt you when you don't like them. Because people that I don't like, and if they did something wrong, and I have to be a witness, I'm going to be a truthful witness. If they did something wrong, exactly, if they get caught for something that they didn't do, right? Even though they're my enemy, I'm going to tell the truth. Not because I hate them. Yes, they did it. And I saw them do it. No, I didn't see them do it. They did. I saw them not do it, as a matter of fact. Them and I cannot get along, but I'm not going to tell a lie on them. Don't bear false witness against thy neighbor. Next law. Law number 10. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thy neighbor's wife, thy neighbor's car, thy neighbor's donkey, animals, whatever. Don't covet. The word covet means to desire. In Jamaica, we call it ready eye. Don't desire a man's house or a woman's house. Desire your own. Don't desire a woman's curly hair baby and now you want to sleep with a white man to get a curly hair baby also. Stop desiring shit, because a lot of the things y'all are desiring are actually evil and wrong. Every woman who had a child to a white man had a white baby, and they don't even know that all their babies are going to the lake of fire. So when you were chasing down to get a curly-haired baby, you was chasing down to get a next nation that's not yours. That baby, the white baby, Bob Marley, is going to die with all of his sons in a second death. The lake of fire. Because his bloodline is Caucasian. They're the only people on the face of the earth. God said he's going to wipe off the face of the earth. Wipe them into non-existence. They won't exist anymore. So when these women are doing this and you coveted them, and you go sleep with a white man also to get a curly-haired baby, you don't even love your own self. You're black. You have Negro hair. Nigger hair. Right? So why would you want somebody that doesn't look like you? You don't love yourself. If your neighbor's wife comes unto you, she is wicked. If your neighbor's wife comes unto you, that woman is a wicked woman. And if you accept it, you're also a wicked man. Alright, I'm done eating. So it says, thou shalt not covet, which is to desire thy neighbor's wife, thy neighbor's car, thy neighbor's donkey, thy neighbor's animal. Don't desire. Don't just see something and because somebody else has it, you want it. It would be like me doing polygamy, right? Say I was in the community and I had 2 girls that live next door to me on each side. And both of them like me. But one of them only liked me because the next one liked me. Because they're probably friends, right? and one of them doesn't like me because she and I can never get along, but she doesn't know that the reason why you can't get along is because she likes me. And then the one that went forward and says to her friend, yo, I like him. The next door neighbor that's on one side said, I like him. She's like, oh, and she starts speaking about all my traits and all these little things. All of a sudden now she's saying, yeah, I like him too. You get what I'm saying? But she's only liking me because she realizes that somebody else desired me. Somebody else desired me. Why couldn't she like me of her own? Why couldn't she just see me? Like, y'all ever heard about love at first sight? I'm not talking about that, but it's something like that. Why couldn't she see me without a next woman seeing me? Because you ever heard these women say, what you don't see in him, I see in him. So what a woman don't see in a man, or what a man don't see in a woman, the next man or a woman will see in that person. You get what I'm saying? And she and her friend, the one on the right, the next door neighbor on the right, she saw what was in me, and she told it to the one on the left. So now both of them want me, and the one on the right, she told me that she wants to marry me, but the one on the left didn't tell me that. And then when the one on the right told her that, yo, I told him I want to be his wife, or I told him I like him or whatever, now she wants to come and tell me she likes me. Now both of them want to be my wife now, just because one wants to be my wife, the other wants to be my wife. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You only wanted me because you're coveting something that somebody else wanted. This is what the law says. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not desire shit that other people want and shit that other people have. You all need to stop doing that. Oh, I need a car because, oh, that person has a car. I want a baby because she has a baby. You know what I'm saying? I want a house because he has... No, you want a house because he needs a roof over your head. And many of us are buying cars before we even buy a house or build a house because we're seeing people do it. We're seeing people do it. And then these people elevate and buy a house and we can't even afford a house because the car that we tried to get, see, they was getting the different funds from us. And the money that we're getting, we have to save up harder than them to get the same car. And now they elevate it again. You have to try and follow behind that. They're going to elevate again. You have to try and follow behind that. And there's going to come a point where you can't follow them no more because their elevation is just too high for you. Because it's you alone. Come on now. You don't know what they're doing to make their money. But you're always coveting, desiring people shit. Wipe up this with them answer. You're always desiring people shit. So you're always chasing after the next thing. Right, that's all. The answer. And the people you're desiring their shit for, the people who shit you're desiring, right? You're literally one step ahead. And you're always one step behind. Let's carry on. Next law. Stone or dirt. You will not put a tool upon the altar, because once you do that, it will become hewn stone and it will be a polluted stone. So the stone will be polluted. Every single church has an altar upon steps. It says once you create this altar, you should not put this altar upon a step. Let me show you what every single church, every single statue of a deity is upon a step. Watch this. What's that right there? It says when you go up on these steps and try and speak to the Most High, you will be fully naked. It says don't go up on, it says do not build an altar upon the steps and do not go up to a step, do not go up to a step onto his altar. So don't make an altar for him and then put it up on a step so you have to go up to it. It says this is in Exodus chapters 20, verses 21, 22, 23, and verses 24 to 26. My apologies. Exodus chapters 20, verses 24 to 26. Read it for yourself right now. That is the 11th commandment. Commandment number 11, and your church is breaking it. Talk to me. And it's on the same page as the 10 commandments. The 11th commandment is on the same page as the 10 commandments. Is it coincidence that they always want to read the 10 commandments, but they don't want to go down to the last of the page and read the 11th commandment? You want to know why they don't want to read the 11th commandment? Because your church is breaking it. Your church is breaking the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not build an altar of hewn stone, chiseled stone. Look at all the, you know what chiseled stone is? Carved stone, carved. Once you put a tool upon it, you have polluted the altar. You have to get stone and pile them up on each other and just make an altar like that, or just get dirt and pile it up on each other. And none of these two altars should be up on a step. Look at the carvings on this altar. That means it was chiseled. What did the Bible say? Altar shall not be upon a step, and you should not what? Put a tool upon the altar, otherwise you have polluted the altar. You have polluted the altar. Every one of your churches is breaking the 11th commandment. That y'all need to know that. Now let's go to the 13th commandment, the 12th commandment. My apologies. Right? It says, this is in Exodus chapters 22, verses 18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Now, every single person on this live is a witch or a warlock. Tell me I'm lying. Am I lying? Who is not a witch on this live right now or a warlock? Just say me or say I. I'm not a witch, I'm not a warlock. Just say I. Tell me I'm lying.
Come here, come. Come sit down.
Oh, nobody's gonna go against that? All praises. So, everybody on this live is a witch or a warlock. Why? Because all of us. Where y'all go? Oh. Everybody. What, no? Everybody who says they're not witches or warlocks, you'll be literally going against the Bible. Every single person on this live, the majority literally has taken pharmakia before. Pharmakios, which is what? A witch or a warlock. You took sorcery. Sorcery. You took it. You took pharmakia. All of us have taken pharmakia. One more question. Everybody on this live is a devil. Tell me I'm lying. I dare you to. Everybody on this live is a devil. Who in the live is not a devil? Who in the live is not a devil? Say I. Prove me to be a liar. Show me that you're not a devil. And I'll show you to be a liar that you are. Oh, nobody? No takers? Alright, good one. That was a great decision to make. What do you call it? John. 1 John chapters 3 verses 8. He that sinneth is of the devil. He that sinneth in my Bible is the devil. My Bible says is a devil. Because the word devil means deceiver. Every single one of y'all, if y'all ain't following the laws, y'all never used to follow the laws, y'all were always devils. And a lot of us, because none of us are perfect, we're still devils. There's still things that we deceive ourselves in. It might not be mass deception, but there's still little things that we're falling short on. Even though you're trying very hard, you're not perfect. So that still makes you a devil. Does everybody understand what I said? I told you all I teach different. And all right, let me explain something to you. If you cannot get, if a crackhead doesn't acknowledge he's a crackhead, how will he stop taking crack? If a crackhead doesn't acknowledge he's a crackhead, how will he stop taking crack? If a devil doesn't acknowledge he's a devil, then how will he stop being a devil? Have you all ever watched the cartoons where you see the devil on one side of the shoulder and the angel on the next side of the shoulder? Remember, I gave you all a Bible verse. Go read it. Write the Bible verses down that I speak of. When I speak, I drop verses. If I say something and you don't hear me give a verse, just write it in the comments, because I'm reading the comments. Just write, Mash, what verse is that? And I'll give it to you, fam. 1 John chapters 1 First John chapter 3, verses 4 says, He that sinneth transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. First John chapter 3, verses 8. He that sinneth is of the devil. In my Bible it says, he that sinneth is a devil, because the devil sinneth from the beginning. This is why the Father was manifest to destroy the works of the devil in you. This is why the Son, Salakia, was manifest to destroy the works of the devil in you. So once you're a sinner, you are a devil. You are a deceiver. Does everybody understand? When you see them make the cartoon with the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the next shoulder, that devil is you. The angel is your consciousness from the Most High. Your common sense telling you not to do that fuckery. But your flesh is you. The flesh is the devil. The flesh is what wants to do everything and anything and experience. Because the flesh craves for anything which is new. Or anything which is not given to it all the time. It craves it. This is why a lot of the things that we do which is wrong is things that are forbidden. This is why the meats that are wrong are the nicest meats. I'll tell you that as a man who doesn't eat pork, shrimp, crab, or any form of that fucker, when you spice those meats and even rabbits, oh my yah. But me saying that is me telling you that this sinful meat tastes nice. Anything which is sin feels good. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Sin always feels good, and anything which is bad for us tastes good. Look at all these burgers and pizzas that we eat. I don't eat the fucking foods no more. So the taste that it brings, even the food that I eat at home, I still make that type of food, but I make it with clean. My wives make it clean. So in the cleanliness that they make it in, it tastes the same, but it doesn't. There is a magic on their food. There is a death on their food. The food that, like, when I go out and buy a pizza, differently from when I'm at home and my wife makes a pizza and she's a great chef, amazing. The pizza tastes the exact same, but it doesn't give the same feeling. One comes with death and one comes with just me full in my belly. Same thing with when she makes a burger at home. She makes it with real meat. Different from when I go to Burger King and buy a burger. I even fall asleep like I was put under a trance. When you eat that food, you fall asleep like you was put under a trance. When you eat normal food, good food, clean food, it's like you still have that sleepy moment, but you don't feel heavy like somebody was holding you down. You don't feel heavy like somebody was holding you down. Yo, who there on this up? Nobody around there. So yo,
I cut him good.
When I cut him, Jack? What do we do? So anyway, as I was saying, fam, we need to understand the devil is you, the deceiver is you, and the angel is the spirit in your mind. That's that voice inside of your head that tells you not to do the foolishness. That's the spirit of the Most High. The angel that you see on the one shoulder and the devil on the next shoulder, the devil is you. Satan is not going to the lake of fire for you, he's going for himself. You're going to the lake of fire for yourself. Because you were the one who deceived yourself. See, after your mother and your father deceived you with all the fucker foods and all of the fucker this and all the fucker that, you grew up and became an adult. Now, I'm going to use his sister because, as I said, I always use my brothers and sisters that are just coming into the truth. Like the ones who are just coming in, right? Think about this. How many of us who have mothers that follow this law? How many of us who have fathers that follow this law? And send us to someone, or even send us to a place where we can go learn the law. How many of us? Yo, you should be happy if you have a mother or a sister or an auntie or an uncle, a close family member that sends you to the law. Look how I speak. You think every mother is gonna be like, oh, just like the mother did with her daughter, with the sister that's inside, that's in the live right now? It's winter. You think every mother is gonna be like, yo, go watch MASH? Nah. Her mother must have heard me say stuff about women. You know, and you have some women, they love to hear about God, but when it comes on to speaking about women, they don't want to hear that part. Her mother sent her to somebody, and all of y'all are being sent to people. The children of God, all of y'all are being sent to people. Not me only, but people who God is going to give you the raw truth out of. Because that's what your soul desires, the raw truth. It's not one of us that's out here that got the raw. Even you got the raw truth. Once you know the truth, you're now one of those people who someone is going to come to for the raw truth. Everyone right now who's learning right now, remember, you're not just going to sit down with all this information inside of your head. You're going to teach it to your babies, teach it to your husbands, teach it to your wives, teach it to your friends, your sisters, your aunties, your uncles. And once you start doing that, then you're going to be the crazy one. Yes, yeah, I'm telling you, tell her big up for me, my sister. Tell her big up for me. And shalom and blessings to her. You know what I'm saying? You're going to teach this truth to all your other family members. Right now, if her and her mother goes hard in this law, you think all of her family members ain't going to call a mad mother, mad daughter? Let them start wearing fringes. Start wrapping their heads. Start wearing only dresses. Mama and daughter. And see if mama and daughter don't get called mad people. And if her mother wasn't inside of this walk, and she was in it alone, her mama would have probably called her mad. And if she didn't follow the walk, and her mama was in the walk, she would have said, Mama, you're losing it. But let both of them do this and see what happens. Once you start doing this properly, you're going to lose family members. This is why if you have a family member in this, you're blessed. I don't. Many of us don't. You're blessed. Somebody that's walking the same walk as you, come on, man, you're blessed. So as I was saying, the law, back to the law of thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Now, if I'm not supposed to suffer a witch to live, and all of us have taken pharmakia, pharmakios, pharmaceuticals, all of us are witches and warlocks. So what is it talking about? It's talking about in the wilderness. Or it's even talking about now when somebody takes your child and bleeds them out. It's not talking about white people's witchcraft. It's talking about blood witchcraft. Blood witchcraft. Because how can I kill you for some... First of all, I'm never going to work no blood witchcraft. But I have done pharmakia, which is taking a pill or getting an injection. Like my parents took me to the hospital. I thought it was good and then I did it to myself. I deceived myself. I was a devil to myself. And then I stopped being a devil. In that aspect, pharmakia. Every sin is a devil sin. So every sin makes you a devil. And every time when you throw a sin away, you take a little bit of the devil away from yourself. You deny the devil a little bit more. They love to call people crazy when you speak in the truth. Can't. Right? So when he said thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, it's talking about, say all of us, all of y'all on this live right now was living in the wilderness with me. All of us went to the wilderness, right? And we found out that a man or a woman, right, took a child away and sacrificed that child behind our backs while eating with us and acting like they're praying with us. When we find this person, what should be the judgment? No, y'all tell me. Because the Bible just told me a while ago. The Messiah never said we ain't supposed to kill people that were sacrificing people. He never said don't kill them. D for death or A alive. If we found somebody, if all 57 of us was living in one place in the wilderness, had our own river, right, had our own food, our own animals, all that stuff, and we saw 2 or 3, even one child go missing, and it was either a male or female from the camp, right, that took this child and bled this child out to do some form of sacrifice, and we found out and this person told us what they did to the child, what should we do? D for death, L for live. Come on now, there's 59 of us. Come on, I need to see those D's or those L's. That is it right there. So that is the witch or warlock it's talking about. Because as I said, there's many forms of witches and there's many forms of warlock. So when the Bible says, do not suffer a witch to live, it's talking about the one who sacrifices children. The warlocks, the men who sacrifices children. Blood sacrifice, children, women, whatever it may be, as long as it's a sacrifice. Right? And many of us, we can't even kill the ones who do tarot card reading. We can't even kill the ones who read from the fucking crystal ball. Why? Because of many of us, right, I believe those fake ass spirits. So we also indulge in it. Remember, if you have not done that sin, cast the first stone. If you have not done that sin, cast the first stone. You get what I'm saying? And you're still living in a society that does that. Your mama does that. So you're gonna stone your mama? Cause say you stop doing it, right? Are you gonna stone your mama? Cause you have to stone her first. Cause she's sickly right now. She's old and she's sickly and she's taking some form of pills. Whether it's even fucking vitamins. Your mama or your papa's taking it. Are you gonna stone mama and papa? Cause they should be the ones you stone first. You're gonna stone mama and papa. Talk to me. Okay. So with that being said, anyone who does the warlock, anyone who's a witch or a warlock that is bleeding people out and taking people's life in that manner, in that way, these are the people who should die, right? And the Bible says, do not suffer a witch to live. Exodus 22 verses 18. So let's carry on. Next law. Thou shalt not lie with a beast. So we're not supposed to have sex with animals. The Bible says, thou shalt not lie down with a beast. So you're not supposed to have sex with animals. No animal intercourse. No sexual intercourse with animals. So they don't know more, you know. So no animal intercourse. This is still in Exodus 22. You should not have, that's plain and simple. Don't have sex with an animal. Next law. Don't sacrifice unto other gods. Now all of these deities that y'all know, that y'all pray to, Buddha, Shiva, Allah, all these fucking Jesus, all them. You're praying to listen, the gods were never supposed to be meant to be prayed to. Whether it's the demon gods or whether it's the angel gods, you were never supposed to pray to them. You pray to the one supreme Lord, the one supreme Master, the one supreme Most High, the Father. Allah Hayim. Yeah. You were supposed to only pray to him, right? So thou shalt not, and only give sacrifice unto him when we were allowed to give sacrifice. The sacrificial laws is done away with, so we don't give sacrifices any splinter on. We don't give sacrifices anymore, right? So because we don't give sacrifices anymore, that means even this law, when it said don't sacrifice unto other gods, y'all are still out here sacrificing your time, sacrificing your literal babies to the God of Christmas, Satan, to the God of Easter. You know what I'm saying? To the God of on Valentine's Day, right? To all of these people are making religions, and y'all are following them. Y'all are following their gods. So y'all are sacrificing unto their gods. Even the God of the birthday, your birthday. Who told you you're supposed to be worshiping your birthday, or celebrating your birthday? That is self-worship. And you hear people out here talking about their first eye and this bullshit about if you don't know how to worship yourself first, how are you gonna worship your brother? How are you gonna worship? We don't worship. We praise our brothers. We praise our sisters. We worship our Father only. We don't worship oneself. Because you are not creating anything. All you're doing is copying. Everything that you did, which is to push your penis. Because you men are out here talking about, oh, we're this and we're that. Oh, we can see from the first eye and the third eye. So that's what you all call it. But yeah, at the same time, you didn't even create anything. You had sex like the people before you and literally made a baby that everybody else is making. That's called a copy. We've been making copies. But you acted like you did something new. And talk about you're going to worship yourself. What did you do to worship yourself? What did you do to deserve worship, you idiot? What did you do? What did any of us do to deserve worship? One deserves praise, not worship. Funny, the TV show American Gods actually reveals a lot of lies and how it's connected. Khan. Next law. Thou shalt not oppress or vex a stranger. Just like how when people go into a new community, all of a sudden the people don't like you, they're trying to oppress or vex you. They try to oppress or vex you or intimidate you because you're living better than them. Because when they was in the community, living all their lives, their mamas and their papas never taught them shit. And you came as a stranger with no mama, no papa, doing your own thing, right? And their mamas and their papas hate you, and they themselves hate you because you're doing better than them. The Bible says you ain't supposed to see a stranger which looks just like fucking you. That means I'm not a fucking stranger because I look just like fucking you. But I come from a next place, in the same fucking country as you. I speak the same language as you. And I come from slave fucking descent as you. But you have me as a stranger because I come from a next part of the island. You're a fucking clown. You're a fucking piece of shit. You're an abomination. You're dog doo-doo. You want to oppress and vex somebody who looks just like you, speaks just like you, acts just like you, does the same thing you do, loves the same thing you do, because they came from a different part of the island. You're a fucking idiot. And this is law. Now I'm gonna say a prayer again, and I'm gonna eat some food again. Y'all be like, why is Mash? I thought you just ate. Yeah, I did just eat, and I'm gonna eat again because I haven't eaten. But what am I eat today? A little piece of melon. Yeah, I ate a piece of melon all day. So I ate a little sandwich, and now I'm eating my dinner. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna eat and teach again, but I'm gonna do a proper prayer now because the food that I prayed over was from yesterday. So this food is brand new food. So we have to do brand new prayer. You get it? All praises unto the Most High Yahweh, power of Yasharallah. Thank you for this meal, O one and true power. Bless this meal, O one and true power, in the name of Yahweh Shai, your holy servant. In the name of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and all the holy ones in heaven and on earth. Halal wa ya. All praises unto the one who created the sun, the stars, the moon. The one who makes the mountains move and the oceans roar and the rivers flow and the rains fall. Halal wa ya. Our Father who art in heaven, may your name be held holy. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we have forgiven those who are in debt to us. Lead us not into temptation or into the hands of the evil ones. All praises unto the Most High Yahweh, power of Yasharallah, halal wa ya. Salah. Yo, you know say I oi, stop it. You know say I have to feed him, right?
Okay.
Because she not used to him enough to rough him. And she know she not want to rough him. So, I tell her, she stand up and watch him and just waste our time. I'm not like that style. How they feed him? Like out like, huh? So what I do what?
They didn't have
So long?
She just go back to the door.
Oh, I die, she go bed first. So go and feed him now, like, that's like the pot until she come. It's bad. I think I know my one you don't make me like that one.
English
Footprint. I saw you on a live a while ago with that dumbass nigga talking about third eye and worship himself with a broken tooth. I saw you on that live, brother. That's some bullshit. Y'all want to worship yourself? I just spoke about that, and look who pops up. Somebody that was on that live. Listen, we don't listen to dumbass niggas, bro. And I didn't think you were dumb, but you're listening to a dumb nigga talking about worshiping yourself. What did y'all create to worship yourself? Shalom, shalom.
Well done.
What did y'all do to create? What did y'all create to worship yourself?
Open your mouth and start.
That's supposed to hot in man.
You didn't think we put it before me in 9 months?
Alright, so let's carry on. So it says, ye shall not oppress or vex a stranger. Next law. Ye shall not afflict a widow or fatherless child. A widow is a woman who lost a husband, and a fatherless child. How can you afflict a fatherless child? You afflict a fatherless child by afflicting his mother, by using his mother. That's how you afflict them. One more time. Thou shalt not afflict a widow or fatherless child. How do I afflict a widow? She lost her husband. I know I don't want her. I want her money, but I'm gonna sleep with her and have a side chick while I'm spending her money and put her in all types of stress and shit like that. Right? Whether she's old or she's young. She lost her husband and I'm using her. Now, how do you afflict a fatherless child? You by afflicting his mother. Just by using his mother. Because a woman, when she loves a man, she will do anything for him. So she's buying you shoes. She's buying you this, buying you that. While the children are not eating, they ain't got no shoes. They ain't got no good clothes. They ain't got nothing. But you got chains, a car, a house. You got everything from this woman. While she's neglecting her children. While she's neglecting her children. So because of you, I'm doing this to this woman. And because of her love for you and her neglect for her child, you were the one who afflicted her, in turn afflicting her children. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Before I go to the next law.
Stop with that.
All right. Next law. Next law says, don't be a usurer to my people. That means don't use your people in any form or any manner. A lot of people will take your money and feel like, oh, they know they ain't gonna do what you pay for, but they took your money anyway because they're broke. And they're willing to go through an argument or even danger because of their own fucking desires. Don't be a usurer to your people. Don't use nobody, yo. Don't use nobody. Women don't use men. Men don't use women. Thou shalt not be a usurer to my people. That's a law. Next law. Give back what you owe. Exodus 22 verses 26 to 27. Give back what you owe. You owe somebody, pay him back. Give back what you owe. Next law. Thou shalt not endorse no other gods, or curse the ruler of thy people. Now, we have no rulers of our people. We have mixed breed abominations. The majority of our leaders are under the strings of the Caucasians, or the elite, the Caucasians.
Stop it.
So even if he is black like you, because he's a string over his head and his back and his arms and his legs, he's like Pinocchio. He's not one of us. So he's not talking about that leader. He's talking about a leader that we have, that's not listening to nobody. It says that's taking care of us. It says don't curse that ruler, that leader. Next law. Thou shalt not delay to give. 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 You get your children. You give thanks. But nobody remembers to give thanks. All you'll remember to do is beg. Nobody remembers to give thanks. All you'll remember to do is beg.
Okay, turn around.
What rice in there, sir?
Next law.
Stop it.
Ozai. Ozai.
Come.
Eat. Right? So, next law. Ye shall be holy men unto Yahweh and holy women. Separate men and separate women. You're not supposed to be the same as the other nations. So when people come to say we can live as the Gentiles or live like the heathens, that's a lie. That's a lie. It says, ye shall be holy. The word holy means separate, set apart. Not the same as everybody else. Neither shall ye eat. Next law. Neither shall ye eat any flesh torn by beasts. Ye shall cast it to dogs. Neither shall ye eat any flesh torn by dogs. Torn by beasts. You shall cast it to dogs. Next law. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Thou shalt not raise a false report, meaning a lying report. Thou shalt not raise a false report. For me? No, that's for me if I teach. Right? Thou shalt not raise a false report. Right? And put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You put that back on, child?
What?
The battery where you use.
No move is still around you.
Next law. Thou shalt not follow the multitude to do evil. What does that mean? How many of y'all have been jumped? How many of y'all have been ganged? And y'all went and got your cousins, your aunties, your uncles to defend that shit. That's you following the multitude to do evil. You see, it was a multitude that jumped you. It was a multitude that did evil to you. And you did what? You went and got your own multitude to defend you. So you're doing an evil also. The Bible said, we should not hold a grudge. So after you got the whoop ass, if you're able to go home alive, don't hold a grudge. Go home alive. If you're in the hospital and you come out of the hospital and you're not dead, go home alive. You came home alive. Don't prolong that beef. Don't prolong that chaos, that fight. You got to go home alive. But instead of going home and staying home alive, you went back with family members and friends. And probably you lost one of your family members, or even you lost your life the second time you went back. You ain't supposed to go to do any of that shit. It says, thou shalt not follow the multitude to do evil. Thou shalt not follow the multitude to do evil. So no ganging of nobody. You can't gang somebody. Next law. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. So if I caught someone stealing in my house, right? This person stole from you also, but you never caught them. But you know it's them, but you never caught them. You have no proof. You have no proof, right? And I caught them red-handed. Remember, you can't use me catching them to tell the police, oh, they robbed you too. You have to have proof. I have proof because I caught them in my house. And you can't come to me and say, if I want to give them a chance and let them go, you can't say, oh, don't let him go because he robbed me too. Break his leg. Break his arm. Hurt her. You don't know why she's stealing food. She might be stealing food because she's hungry. She might be stealing food because her children are hungry. Where in the Bible does it say to lock up a thief, hurt a thief, kill a thief? Yeah, Mama Wallace. Where in the Bible does it say that? Now we know thieves hurt people, but a lot of us go through that shit because we planted that seed. Because from your mouth you was like, if I ever catch nobody in my house, I'm gonna fuck them up. You planted a seed of somebody coming inside of your fucking house and you didn't even know that your fucking mouth did that. Yeah, I said it. I'm done eating again. You planted a seed from your own fucking mouth. You said, if I catch anybody inside of my house, I'm gonna fuck them up. So somebody came inside of your house. You women go move inside of a house by yourself, and you just have the spirit of fear. Oh, somebody sneaking in, and then somebody does sneak in. You planted that seed. Oh, somebody coming to rape me, and then somebody does come in to rape you. You planted that seed. The wages of sin is death. Your sin. Your seed. You planted it. That's why people don't like me, you know. Because I'm going to show you the mirror in front of your fucking face. The mirror that you will never like. The mirror that you don't want to accept. That image of yourself. Which is a delusional fucking image. You don't want to see that. When I want to forgive somebody, allow me to forgive them. When somebody wants to forgive somebody, allow them to forgive them. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Judgment is being arrested. I don't want to harm this person for robbing me. I don't want to harm this person for doing anything to me. I got over it. I'm past it. Don't come over and try and boil up my fucking flame. Tell me about they robbed you too, so I shouldn't let him go because I caught him and you didn't get to catch him in red-handed, but because I did, now we have a right to beat him. No, we don't. This is why the thief on the cross was told by the man you call Jesus that when he closed his eyes, meaning when he died, he would open his eyes and be in paradise, because they killed a thief for no reason. Who told you that stealing was supposed to be, someone was supposed to be put to death? You were supposed to beat someone. You were supposed to break their limbs. Who told you that? Stealing is wrong. Well, who told you you were supposed to hurt the thief? Who told you you were supposed to hurt the thief? Earth angel. This ain't no coincidence. Every time when I bring law, because I don't see you. Like, you disappear for months upon months. But every time I bring these laws in, you just pop up out of nowhere. Like, that is the Most High. That's no coincidence, sister. Every time when I do laws, I don't see you for a long time period. Right? And then one day I'll just be doing the laws and here you pop up on the live. Bam! That's the father right there. That's daddy right there. Big up to everyone that's joining the live. Next law. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. When a poor man is complaining, a middle class man is complaining, a rich man is complaining about life, tell them to shut the fuck up and stop complaining. Why? Because they've been here before. They've done this before. They've been through this before. And they passed that life period before and they came in this life. So why are you complaining now? Why are you saying that you can't manage now when you managed in the last life? You got through in the last life. Any man you see murmuring about life, do not countenance that man in his cause. Do not countenance him. When he's murmuring like a little bitch, life is more important than being poor, middle class, or rich. You have life. All three of those people have life. The poor, the middle class, and the rich. So any of them you see complaining about life, tell them to shut the fuck up. Any of them you see complaining about life, tell them to shut the fuck up. Poor, middle class, or rich, it don't really matter. Alright, next law. It says, always return an enemy stray animal back to him or her. Always return an enemy stray animal back to him or her. An enemy stray child. And many of y'all are in the ghetto, and I'm gonna say this, and the women are gonna be angry, but just listen to what I'm saying and just see where I'm coming from. I'm gonna say some shit that y'all don't like. And many women don't like other women, and because of that, they will see a child, and literally because the woman of the child is her enemy, she will see a child and call CPS. She will see a child that walked out the door. Now we know how children are. And y'all don't live in a fucking, like me. Y'all don't live like me that's with a big fucking acres upon acres of land. So if your child even walks out, it's still on your land. If your child even walks outside, it's still on your, y'all live in the ghetto. And you see a child walk out of his mama's house. She probably even left the door open by accident. And you go call CPS as a black person. You call the police and you know who that child's mama is. All it takes is for you to lift the baby up and go bring her back to mama. Even the enemy is now a friend. You an idiot? But y'all don't want to be friends with your people. Y'all want to be constant enemies with your people. Constant enemies with each other. This is why I have y'all as abomination. This is why I tell y'all need to read the Bible. Because many of y'all are working off your so-called spirit. Oh, I'm working off my spirit. Your spirit is bullshit. Because y'all are looking at each other and talking about you got love, but your love is wax cold. Right now I'm reading the laws. Right now I am citing out the laws right now. And because of these laws, I know what to do when I see a child. I know what to do when I see my enemy's animal, my enemy's child, my enemy's belongings. I know what to do. I know what to do. But because of your evil, holding a grudge spirit, y'all hate each other for prolonged periods. We know people have disgusting ways. But at the same time, how long are you going to sit down and hate somebody? Hate after somebody? You know what I'm saying? How long? How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? How long? Let's carry on. Next law. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of the poor in his cause. That means after you finish telling this poor man, this rich man, or even this middle class man, when they're complaining about life, that they still got life and they should shut the fuck up about their complaining. Then if they need help in some way, you help them. If they're wicked, you don't help the wicked. The Bible says don't help wicked people. They'll get fat, turn around and bite you like a dog. Jamaicans have a saying, don't feed anorexic dog. Don't feed an anorexic or skinny or maga dog. Because the maga dog, the skinny dog, the anorexic dog will get fat and bite you. Because once it gets fat, it's now strong and it will remember its original owner and bite your ass. Don't feed maga dog because maga dog will turn around and bite you. That's a Jamaican saying. Now let's carry on. It says, thou shalt not rest the judgment of the poor in his cause. So you need to help the poor people in their tribulation. Don't tell yourself that, oh, God did that to them. God didn't tell you he needs your help to keep them in tribulation, you dumb bitch. God says help your brothers and sisters. If you see your brothers and sisters doing perpetual evil, those are the ones you don't help. But if you see a homeless man or a homeless woman and you have money in your pocket, give him something that can buy him some food. Not buy him a snack, but buy him some food. Because you know when you go home, you got food in your fridge that you're going to cook a meal with. You're going to cook a whole meal. So buy him a meal. Right? Help the poor in their tribulation. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of the poor in his cause. This is a law. This is why y'all need the laws. And you see how when they're coming one after another, now you're staying firm. We see the life falling and going up, falling and going up, falling and going up. But who's still here listening to laws? Give me your eye. Who's still here listening to the laws? Because many people don't like laws. Because once a law pops up that they are doing, oh shit, oh fuck this life. Who's still here? Who still wants to hear the laws? Say I. Every law I drop helps you. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear the laws. Y'all want to hear stories of the Bible. That's what y'all want to hear. You don't want to hear no laws. Everybody who commented, you don't need to comment again. Who wants to hear the laws? Say I. Come on now, there's 54 of y'all. I ain't trying to get no algorithm up. I ain't trying to do any of that. I'm trying to ask y'all what y'all want. What y'all want. And everybody who answered, thank you for answering. Who else? Who wants to hear the laws? Who wants to continue or wants me to continue to teach the laws? A lot of these people want stories, fam. That's the reason why only a few of y'all answered. No cap. Let's carry on. A lot of these people want stories. That's the reason why only a few of y'all answered. That's why the live is going up and dropping. Because when you're teaching the laws, something that people did see, I can talk about the laws. Why you think Israelite lives go so long? Because we always are talking about a story. People want to hear stories. They want to hear about all these stories about what happened, so on and so on and so on. But when it comes onto the laws, fam, they don't want to hear law after law after law like how Moses did it. But guess what? This is why I am called Masha, lawgiver. You hear that? So whoever is on my live, right, and respects me and has any form of love for me, just remember what my name is. Masha Allah. Mash, which means lawgiver. Just remember that. So if you came over here not wanting laws, then you came over the wrong platform. I'm telling you that. Because this is what I normally do. I only break down the stories so that y'all can now pay attention to the laws. Because y'all always want to hear about a story. Adam and Eve, the fruit, Jonah and the whale. Y'all always want to hear a story. Always. So I break them down all the time so that when I bring the laws, y'all be like, yo, Mash always breaking down stories. Let us do some laws tonight. But nobody wants to hear no blood clot laws, right? But guess what? This is what you're getting tonight. Fuck out of here with that foolishness. Now, next one. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of the poor in his cause, right? Next law. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and the righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. Keep thee far from a false matter, a lying matter, because the innocent ain't gonna, the Most High is not gonna allow the innocent to slay you not. You're gonna get slain. So if you put yourself in a matter and tell a lie on somebody, like what it says, don't be a false witness, and you was a false witness against an innocent person, the Most High will not judge that person for fucking you up. That's why it says, thou shalt not slack you. Keep thee far from a false matter, something that has nothing to do with you. Keep thee far from a false matter. Shalom. That's something that has nothing to do with you. Right? And the innocent and the righteous slay you not, for I will not justify the wicked. You're being wicked if you put yourself against innocent people. If you are literally telling lies against the innocent people, and those people get angry and take your life, the Most High is okay with that. Those people get angry and take your life, the Most High is okay with that. It says they will slay you, literally. It says, keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and the righteous slay you not, for I will not justify the wicked. He's not going to justify you for doing that wickedness, so you're going to get killed. Have you ever seen a family member like get text set on? Like, in the text set in Jamaica means get picked on, you know, treated the worst. And like this one family member keeps on treating this person over and over badly until this family member just gets fed up and just kills that family member. Yeah. Same thing. Now, next law. It says, thou shalt not take any gift for wickedness. So the next law is, thou shalt not take any gift for wickedness. Thou shalt not take any gift for wickedness. A lot of your people love taking gifts for wickedness all the time. Y'all do it all the time. Y'all take gifts for wickedness all the time. Y'all are wicked bastards. And then y'all think that's okay to do that, because you want to do what? Get rich in life. Be better off in life. Right? Next law. Thou shalt not oppress a stranger. Exodus chapters 23 verses 9. Thou shalt not oppress a stranger. I told you all about a stranger earlier on. You can't oppress strangers. Don't oppress them. You know what I'm saying? Don't oppress them. You can speak the truth without oppressing somebody, because the truth is not oppression. A lie is oppression. When you're oppressing somebody, you're telling them a lie. You're dealing with them in a lying manner. So if you put someone into slavery for no reason, that means you're oppressing them, because you're lying to them. You're putting them in a form of captivity, or in captivity, making them think that, or even if they don't think it, you're telling them that they deserve to be in slavery, when nobody deserves to be in slavery. This is why, for all the slavery that the other nations did to us, because it is equal, they have to go into slavery, and then when they go into slavery and they spend their time, then nobody will go into slavery again forever and ever and ever and ever, because it's equal. Everybody put one people in slavery, now everybody has to go into slavery. Simple as that. Simple as that. And then when everybody goes into slavery and they come out of slavery after 1,000 years, that's when it will be equal, and now everybody can be free forever. All right, next law. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto Yahweh. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread, you know, Passover and unleavened bread. Exodus chapters 23 verses 15. Thou shalt also keep the feast. Thou shalt keep the feast of Passover and unleavened bread in the month of Abib, right? Thou shalt also keep the feast of first harvest, the feast of harvest, right? That's at the start of the year. First fruits in the middle of the year, and feast of ingathering at the end of the year. So we need to keep these feasts, and once we keep these feasts, once we keep them, then the Most High, as He said, He would protect us. The Most High, as He said, He would protect us. This is where the altar comes in. You put fruits on the altar, and you appear in front of the Lord and tell Him thanks for the past, thanks for the present, and thanks for the future. I do this. As a matter of fact, I need to do it tomorrow. Like tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? put some fruits on the altar, give thanks to the Father, and then we move on. Now, we do this 3 times for the year. Feast of Harvest, start of the year. First fruits, middle of the year. Feast of End Gathering or Ingathering at the end of the year. 3 times in the year, men must appear before Yahweh. Exodus 23 verses 17. Right, next law. Don't eat a kid on its mother's milk. So you can't eat any kid that, whether it's goats, cows, clean animals, you can't eat none of them on their mother's milk. Right? Next law. Obey the angel Yahushai. Exodus chapters 23 verses 20. Obey the angel Yahushai. Obey the God Yahushai. Obey him because his father sent him. And remember, I told you that God means angel. Right? Next law. Thou shalt not bow down to any African gods, nor serve or do after any manner of their works. Thou shalt not bow down to any African gods, nor serve or do after any manner of their works. So when Black Panther came out and everybody was like, Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever, that was some bullshit.
Come here.
When y'all talk about, oh, I'm a Kemetian, that's some bullshit. I'm a Somalian, that's some bullshit. I'm an African, that's some bullshit. Because you're none of the above. And you're going after the African gods. Next law. The next law says, thou shalt not make a covenant with these Africans, with them, nor their gods. So when you see these Rastas, let me put that picture up. Give me a second. When you see these Rastas, right? Make a covenant with these Ethiopians, because they keep on telling us that we're Ethiopians and we're not. The Ethiopians tell us that we're not Ethiopians also. Give me a second. The Ethiopians tell us that we're not Ethiopians also. So I don't see why people keep on calling us that and telling us this foolishness that doesn't make any sense, right? He said, thou shalt make no covenant with them nor their gods. People are calling Haile Selassie a god when he told us that he's not a god. Haile Selassie tells us that he's not a god. The man is a bald-head half-breed, and y'all are calling this man a god. That's you making a covenant with Haile Selassie. As a matter of fact, y'all made a covenant by your damn selves, because Haile Selassie never told nobody to be a Rasta. You don't have to dread to be a Rasta. Haile Selassie never told nobody to be a Rasta. As a matter of fact, he came and said that. He didn't tell nobody to be a Rasta. That's the reason why he doesn't have dreads. That's the reason why he doesn't have dreads. Because he didn't tell nobody to be a Rasta. Now, what you children of Israel did was, you took the laws of a Nazarite. You took the vow of a Nazarite. And you vowed to grow your hair for Haile Selassie, a man that tells you that you're not a god. You bow to a man who tells you he's not a god and he is not your god. And he never told you to do any of the things that you're doing. And he doesn't want you to call him a god because he's a human. Y'all feel good of saying out of your mouth that weed comes from Solomon's grave, when cannabis was found all over the world. And they found it on a man's grave. Why? Because the people who were around him were obviously smoking. And they were picking weed out. You know, like when y'all are picking your weed out, and then a seed fell from the same men who were smoking and probably drinking. So it was in the beginning, so it shall be in the end. In Jamaica, when you go to a funeral, you know what you see in people's mouths? Big spliffs. In Jamaica, when you go to a funeral, you know what you also see in people's hands? Liquor. So right at the gravesite, any the men who would normally go and get their nice clothes dirty are people who are close to the family or close to that person, and they normally, if it's a man, smoke. So you found weed on Solomon's grave, and you say, oh, that's where weed came from, and because it came from Solomon's grave, literally even Kapash with his dumbass talking about weed gives intelligence. What the fuck? Weed gives knowledge. What the fuck? Weed gives knowledge? That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. So you saying that when you get knowledge, you got it from the weed? So when you sat down and smoked a spliff, what knowledge did you get? When you sat down and smoked a spliff, what knowledge did you get? I want to know. Y'all can't come talk some shit to me and then expect me to just believe in that bullshit out of your mouth. Talking about weed gives knowledge. Y'all are fucking crazy. That's some crazy ass shit. Weed gives knowledge. Stupid as shit. It says, next law. This is about the Africans. It is a law that we're not supposed to make a covenant with the Ethiopians. It's a law that we're not supposed to drink blood also, Bobo. Doti Bobo. Doti Rasta Bobo. It is a law that we're not supposed to drink blood. Exodus chapters 35. Exodus chapters 35. We're reading out the laws. This is why we need laws. All you fucking so-called teachers don't follow no laws, don't have no book of laws, and yet you say, oh, I'm a law follower. Yet you say that's the reason why y'all are the same as these fucking people, these niggas out here who say they're Christians and don't follow no laws. That's the reason why you and them are the same thing. Why? Because you don't follow no laws. I'm reading the laws right now. This is law. Thou shalt not make no covenant. Let me read the law before that. The law before that says, thou shalt not bow down to any Canaanite or Hamite god. Hamite god. Off topic. Where will we find you once they ban TikTok? I don't know, because I'm not on any platform. And remember, I'm not rich like that, so I don't know how to set up. Not that I don't know, but I ain't got no funds to set up no other thing. You get what I'm saying? And do no other thing. I don't know how to do no other thing. No podcast or whatever. None of that shit is. I don't know none of that shit. I'm saying all of my funds go into cows and goats and literally trying to keep my family, you know what I'm saying, on par. So as I was saying, the law, says, thou shalt not bow down to any African gods, any Hamite gods, nor serve or do after any manner of their works, because the Ethiopians are pagans. The Ethiopians are pagans. They are pagans. 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 P-A-G-A-N-S. Pagans. Pagans. The Ethiopians are pagans. One more time. Pagans. All right. So the law that says don't bow down to any of the Hamite gods. Chapters 35, which one? Slacky is not chapters 35. It's actually for you. My apologies. It's 25. It's 25. My apologies. Exodus 25, right? Because we're going from 23, 20. We're going from 23, 20, right? And we're going down. You read all the way down. Because what I'm doing is there's laws all the way through. You'll see laws that I even skipped. Why is that? Because those laws have to be executed by a Levitical priest. I am not a Levitical priest, and that law doesn't pertain to me. Unless I am a Levitical priest or the Levitical priesthood was in power, you know what I'm saying? I can't do it. The Levitical priesthood is not in power, and I'm not a Levitical priest, so I only write the laws down that are pertaining to a singular individual, whether male or female. Thank you for reading our laws. So grateful and appreciated. Big up, big up. So, all right. So, after it says, don't bow down to the Canaanite gods, right? Then it says, thou shalt not make no covenant with them. Thou shalt not make no covenant with them, right? No covenant. You see how y'all want to make covenant with the fucking Haile Selassie and the Ethiopian, but we're Ethiopian Orthodox. Shut up. You're Ethiopian what? You made a covenant. You made literally a Nazarite covenant and grew your hair for a man. And when you read the Nazarite covenant or the Nazarite vow, you don't drink, you don't have sex, you don't do any of that. All you Rastas do all of that. Y'all smoke, drink, do everything which is fucking bad. So you're only growing your hair for a man for no reason at all. What's the real reason why you're growing your locks? You can't tell me. No Rasta can tell me why they're growing their locks. But for Haile Selassie, a Nazarite vow for a man. A man. And all you're doing is growing it, waiting for him to come back. You're gonna die before he comes back. You're gonna die before he comes back. And when he comes back, he's coming back in slavery. When Haile Selassie comes back, he's coming back in slavery. You hear that? Everybody on the face of the earth is gonna come back in a big zip. You know what is a big zip? You see how they had us like breeding farms? Y'all, we're gonna have them like breeding farms. And all the people who from the past is coming back. Everybody's coming back in slavery. 1,000 years, all of y'all gonna get a piece of that shit. Every single one of y'all is gonna get a piece of that slavery. Every one of y'all is coming back. Every single nation on the face of this planet, including Haile Selassie, that comes from the Ethiopians, right? And because his mother is an Indian and his father is an Ethiopian. All of y'all are gonna come back in regeneration and go get a piece of the slavery. And all of the people who followed you, who are Negroes, they're gonna be laid to rest for 1,000 years. That means they ain't gonna be here. If I'm in that mix too, I'm gonna be laid to rest for 1,000 years. All of us who don't make it in the first resurrection will be laid to rest for 1,000 years. Will be laid to rest, like literally, not here. But everybody else from every other nation is gonna come back in regeneration. Everybody else, right, is gonna come back in regeneration, what y'all call reincarnation, right? And when they come back, they're gonna come back and go into slavery. Every nation is gonna get a piece of slavery. Every person who had a part in it. And the Father don't punish one person. He punished the whole nation. This is how the Father works. All right. So it says, they shall not dwell in thy land. So the Ethiopians or the Africans should not dwell in our land. The people of West Africa, those are not Africans, those are us, right? They're just living in Africa. And in West Africa, Ethiopians should not dwell in that land, right? In West Africa, Somalians should not dwell in that land. This is the reason why you also see them don't do it. So let's carry on. It says, they shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, I will surely be a snare. Take on the time now, I go on. Damn. Yo, as I was saying, they shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, I will surely be a snare unto thee. So if we serve these Ethiopian gods, the Most High is going to be a snare unto us. That's why a man like Bobo can say to us that he will drink a person's blood. I will drink your blood. I will drink your blood. That's what the man keeps on saying when the law says, thou shalt not drink blood. The law says, thou shalt not drink blood. They're vampires. Their spirit has come forth because that's what they are. They're here to just suck and drain. All right, let's carry on. Now we're at Exodus 31 verses 13. I tried to come up and let you hear what this damn girl was saying. Right, so Exodus 31 verses 13. Children of Israel, keep my Sabbaths as a sign between Yahweh and Israel throughout your generation. Throughout your generation. of each tablet for 10 commandments. When they show us on a picture with the 10 commandments, you see on one side of each tablet 5 commandments on one side of one tablet, 5 commandments on the other side of one tablet. So, and they make it seem like the back of the tablet is empty, but that's a lie, because the Bible said that each side of the tablet was written on. Each side of each tablet was written on. Both sides. They're lying to you. They've always lied to you. There's more than 10 commandments. Right? Now we're going to go to the food laws. Leviticus chapters 11 verses 1 to 47. And it says, meat on land. I'm giving you the short version. Meat on land that we can eat. The meat that we can eat are herbivores with cloven hoof, split hoof. Now, if anybody doesn't know what a split hoof is, you see when all these women got all these tights on, these tight ass pants, and you see their vagina split, and it looks like a camel hoof. Yeah, that. Yep, that exactly. Now, with that being said, cloven hoof, split in 2 parts, and choose the cud. Now, when chewing the cud is when you see a cow sitting down or laying down, and you see it chewing its mouth. It's actually chewing the food from its first stomach, so it can swallow it and let it go into its second stomach. Right? So it only gathers food in the first stomach, so it can then grind it down and digest it in its second stomach. So only those animals, the animals that have a split hoof and also chew the cud. So the animal has to have these 2 things, chewing of the cud and splitting of the hoof. Now the animals who have the split hoof and chew the cud are the cow, the goat, the deer, the buck, the sheep, the bison, and the moose. One more, and there's others, but you have to go look them up. I'm not living on the whole planet, so I don't need to go look them up. You need to do your own research also. The animals that have a split hoof and chew the cud and that are clean to eat and can be eaten are the cow, the goat, the deer, the buck, the sheep, the bison, the moose. Right? Now, things that cannot be eaten on land: the camel, the hyrax, the hare, the rabbit, the pig. You must not eat such animals. They are unclean and must not must not touch their dead carcasses or their dead bodies. It says even though these animals like the camel and the pig have a split hoof, they don't chew the cud. The rabbit chews the cud, but it doesn't split the hoof. Right? So the animal that is clean on land splits the hoof and chews the cud. And don't let no fucking Christian tell you, oh, God says in Genesis 9 or Genesis whatever they want to bring up, saying that oh Noah can get and can eat what he wants and whatever. For Noah to go into a ship with 7 clean animals, because y'all a lot of y'all get told the story 2 by 2, right? No, 2 by 7. 7 clean, 2 unclean. So if it was a lion, you would have a lioness and a lion, 2 unclean. If it was a cow, you would have 7 of them. Whether it's male, whether it's a male, young bull and a big bull, right? A female heifer and some small heifers. It doesn't really matter. It was 7 clean animals, 2 unclean animals. 7 clean, 2 unclean. 7 clean, 2 unclean. That means from the beginning, after the flood, God was planning to separate clean, and God did separate clean from unclean, and he was planning to give this law unto the children of Israel, because on the boat itself there was 7 clean, 2 unclean. 7 clean, 2 unclean. Why do you think there was 2 of every bird? Why do you think there was 2 of every bird? And why you think that the only birds that there were 7 birds of was the pigeon and the dove. Because pigeon is also a dove. Pigeon is also a dove. And quail is also in the dove family. They're doves. Clean birds. So he had many doves. He had the doves by 7. He had doves by 7. Shalom. He had doves by 7. And he had parrots by 2. Vultures by 2. All of them of every species that were unclean, they came into the boat by 2. The ones that were clean came into the boat by 7. So that should show you that from the time of Noah, there was a separation from clean and unclean beast. Don't let these people tell you nothing, that you can eat pig and pork and shrimp and crab and all this fuckery. They're lying. They're lying, fam. Alright, let's carry on. When people heard me talk about not eating pork, the live dropped though. Nobody wants to hear that part. Don't eat pork. Don't eat pork, you're lucky. Not my business, yours. So as I was saying, fish that cannot be eaten. Fish that cannot be eaten. Fish in the water without fins and scales may not be eaten. Fish in the water without fins and scales, dorsal fin, every fucking fin, cannot be eaten. If the fish does not have fins and scales all over the body, not some parts of the body, but all over the body, this fish must not be eaten. Only fish in the rivers, the waters, the seas, the streams with fins and scales can be eaten. That means anything which is not a fish, which doesn't have fins and doesn't have scales, should not be eaten. Squid, abomination. Shark, abomination. The animal is not an abomination. You eating it is, right? Crab, abomination. Shrimp, abomination. Crayfish, abomination. Gator meat, abomination. What do you call it? Mudfish, abomination. Depending on what salmon you're buying, abomination. Because a lot of salmon don't have scales all over their body, right? And I wouldn't even I wouldn't even eat salmon because salmon are full of parasites. A lot of salmon are full because salmon is in a high production rate. Production rate. Production rate. Production rate. Change his background because I'm not a Haile Selassie fan. Now, this is also a law. Thou shalt not make marriages with the heathen. This is a law, so I can put this picture up. So it says, right? Fish with fins and scales can be eaten. Fish without fins and scales cannot be eaten, right? So nothing without fins and scales from the sea, from the rivers, from the waters. You cannot even drink sea moss. The Bible says any living thing. And when you check out the word living in the Strong's Bible Concordance, it says raw, fresh, flesh, plants. One more time. When you check out the word living, this is in Leviticus chapters 11 verses 9, where it speaks about the fish. It says, when you look up the word, because it says no living thing, whether in the water, the rivers, or the streams, or the seas, right? No living thing without fins or scales from these places should be eaten. And when you look up the word living, it says raw, fresh, fresh, flesh. Listen to me. Raw, fresh, flesh, plants. These are and then it carries on giving more definitions. So, no sea moss, no seaweed, no sea moss. I don't care what it does for your skin. I don't care what it does for your body either. Moringa has way more DNA strands than sea moss does. And it will do way more for you than sea moss will. Moringa. It's the most powerful fruit out there. Or powerful herb. So y'all can put down the sea moss. Because the Bible says if it ain't got fins or scales and it's from the water, you shouldn't eat it. He gave you herbs from the land. That's in Genesis chapters 1 and Genesis chapters 2. Genesis 1 and 2, he tells you that he gives you herbs from the land. Right? So no more sea moss. I know you Jamaicans, it tastes nice. I know. I miss it. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm trying to follow law. I don't care about my flesh. My flesh can go to hell. But my spirit needs to go to heaven. You hear that? My consciousness, I want it to be in a heavenly state. My flesh can go to hell. Kill the old man and build a new. That's it right there. Alright? So no more sea moss and no more seaweed. Alright. So that was the fish. So we dealt with the law of meat on land or animals on land, animals in the sea. Now we're dealing with the birds. The context says birds. Birds that can't, birds that cannot be eaten. They are abomination. You should hold them detestable. The tawny, the vulture, the griffin, the osprey, the kite, the several kinds of all these birds, the several kinds of buzzard, all kinds of raven, the ostrich, the owl, all kinds, the cormorant, the ibis, the barn owl, Ozai, the barn owl, right? The pelican, the white vulture, which is the chicken, because the white vulture is an Egyptian bird that was used. His DNA was used to create the white broiler fowl that we eat. The white broiler fowl that we eat, the same white broiler fowl that you'll see in your stores, stop eating it. I stopped eating it for a while now. You know what I'm saying? Stop eating it. It's made from vulture meat. So is the turkey. The turkey is also a vulture. That's why it looks exactly like a vulture. Because there is several there is several kinds of birds. Several kinds of each bird. So the vulture has cousins. The vulture has cousins and chicken is its cousin. The normal chicken is a vulture. The mixed chicken is still a vulture because they're mixing vultures to make their own form of vulture. So they mix the Cornish hen, a natural vulture. They mix the Plymouth Rock, a next natural vulture, which these are two chickens, right? And then they got the bird that they call the vulture because they didn't let you know that chicken was a vulture. They never let you know that. They would never let you know that because you wouldn't eat it no more. So they got two natural vultures, two chickens who are natural vultures, got their DNA. Then they got a bird which they call the vulture, but that was already a vulture with the chicken, already family with the chicken anyway. But they got that DNA, the white Egyptian vulture, and made the white broiler fowl that you know. The white broiler fowl that you know. So three birds made one bird. Three birds made one bird. The Cornish hen, the Plymouth Rock, and also the white Egyptian vulture. Now, it says the stork, the several kinds of heron, the hoopoe, or the bat. We're not allowed to eat any of these birds. The only bird you are allowed to eat is pigeons, but not the flying rats that you'll see in these cities. Like if you'll come to a Caribbean country or something, you know what I'm saying, or somewhere out of America or out of a first world country, and you go to a third world country, yeah, y'all can eat pigeons. But I wouldn't advise you to eat a pigeon from any first world or even second world country. I'm sorry. But third world, yeah, because those pigeons, you know, they're in a natural environment. The pigeons in America are literally flying rats. The pigeons in the UK are flying rats. And they will literally poison you. So I wouldn't advise you to eat them. But pigeon is a clean bird, right? But because of their environment in the first world countries, those ones are unclean. But pigeon itself, if you can buy a clean pigeon, a pigeon that's not infested with disease, and raise it for yourself and make a pigeon coop, right? Then you're okay. So pigeon, dove, right? Or quail. Quail is also in the dove family. Pigeon is in the dove family. They're all doves. Any form of dove you can eat. Any form of dove. That's the only bird you can eat, a dove. One more time. The only bird you can eat is a dove. The first time I heard you say stop eating chicken was last year, March, and I stopped in less than a month. I haven't gotten sick since. Almost a year now. All praises. So with that being said, right? No more of these birds. I remember when I used to shoot birds with my friend. Just any bird we see, as long as it's not a vulture, or a parrot, we see it, we shoot it. There's a bird called a peccary. Like that bird will, like if you go near its nest, it will fly down and pick your eyes out. Yo, we used to purposely slap those birds down, and I'm telling you, we will find 3-4 nests, binging him down, bam, with a stone and a slingshot. And I'm telling you, man, put it over a fire, roast off all that feathers, all those feathers, bust his belly out, take all of his guts out, and fry that shit and put it between 2 pieces of bread and some ketchup. Me and my little niggas, I'm telling you, no cap. That was us eating abominable bird. Like we're not like the other nations. We can't just say, oh, this is kill a bird. A duck is not supposed to be eaten. A duck is an abominable bird.
Hello.
So duck meat, which is and family, we all know if you've ever eaten duck, we know duck meat tastes nice. Duck meat tastes nice just like our pork tastes nice. But guess what? It's going against the law. It's going against the law. Duck meat even tastes better than chicken, but it's going against the law. It's going against the law. That's right. No flesh, no illness. No. We can't eat, but we just have to eat the proper animals. If you eat the wrong ones, then you get illness. It's not about no flesh, no illness. I'm not ill, and I'm eating the right meats. I'm not ill. I'm not sick. My ancestors did the same thing in the Bible. Eat the right. If you're a meat eater and you eat the correct meats and you do it in moderation, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be eating meat every day. You'll eat meat for lunch. No, you'll eat meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Think about that. Your breakfast got meat in it. Your lunch got meat in it. Your dinner got meat in it. That's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. What the fuck? What do you think's gonna happen to y'all? Even if you eat clean meats, you eat meat, lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day for a whole year, you're gonna get sick, even if it's clean meat, yo. What about the beans? What about the grains? What about the peas? You know, like when y'all go to the Mexicans and y'all get a taco with the beans, y'all need to do that. Eat more beans, more vegetables, more fruits, as much as you can. Right? Eat, and if you want meat or you like meat so bad, do it a day of meat, a day without meat, a day with meat, a day without meat. Even that, man, shit, come the fuck on. Now let's carry on. Now this says winged insects. So this is the winged insects, right? Winged insects. All winged insects that move on 4 feet. all winged insects that move on 4 feet, right? You must hold detestable. You must hold detestable. Of all the winged insects, you may eat the following: those that have legs above their feet, so that they can leap over the ground. These are the ones you may eat: the several kinds of locust, the Solham locust, the Hargal locust, the Hagab locust, in their several kinds. But all winged insects on 4 foot or on 4 feet, you must hold detestable. So the only form of winged insects you can eat is actually grasshoppers, locusts. Just like when John was eating dried locusts and wild honey. It's the only insect that's clean enough to eat. John was following the laws. So even John was following the laws that you wicked ass Christians say that are done away with. Now, it says, Ozai, tapi nice. Oh. Think my merma fire, man.
No.
Alright. Contact. Now this is contact. I'm gonna show many of y'all that y'all shouldn't be touching no dogs or no cats. And if you touch a dead body of a dog or a cat, then you have to wash your body and wash your clothing for you to be clean at the evening. But if you touch your dog or your cat, you'll be clean. Even if you don't bathe in the evening, you'll still be clean. But you'll be unclean until the sun goes down. So y'all are kissing your dogs, hugging your dogs, rubbing your dogs, letting them sit down in your couches and shit. Yeah, that's wrong. It says contact. The context says contact with unclean animals. By these you will be made unclean until the evening, sundown. Anyone who picks up their carcass must wash his clothing and will be unclean until the evening. Unclean until the evening. Animals that have hoofs but not cloven footed, that are not ruminant herbivores, you are to hold unclean. Anyone who touches them will be unclean. Those 4-footed animals which walk on the flat of their foot, paws, which are dogs and cats, must be held unclean until the evening. You can find this at Leviticus 11, I think, verses 23. Right? Must be held unclean until the evening. You are to hold them unclean, and if you touch your dead carcass, you will be held unclean until the evening. You must wash your clothing and wash yourself if you touch your dead carcass. So your dog or your cat is unclean. No crickets. Crickets are grasshoppers. If a cricket is a grasshopper. No, sir. Cricket. Yeah, crickets are grasshoppers. The Bible says those are the only insects you can eat. Crickets, grasshoppers, locusts. If you're gonna eat an insect, those are the only ones you can eat. No thanks. When you're starving, let's see if you can. When you're starving, let's see if you won't eat them. When you're starving, let's see if you won't eat them. You have to overstand. The sun is getting hot, right? A lot of the plants are burning up. A lot of stuff is happening. So, a lot of y'all don't have no goats, no cows, and a lot of y'all are bloodthirsty, meaning y'all always want meat every day. So when y'all ain't got that meat substance, what do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna end up eating dogs and cats and rats. So if I was one of y'all, I would rather eat crickets. I'd rather just take my time, because it's gonna take patience to catch them, because these are things that are hard to catch. And then when I do catch them, right, I cook them, or I dry them out over a fire, whichever way, and then I'll eat that will be my little meat substance. You get me? I'll starve. The Bible says, and I'm gonna tell you, you see when you need to stop planting seeds. I told you all to know what seeds y'all plant. The Bible says, better it is a man to die by the sword than to die from starvation, because he will be thinking that he'll be pining away, thinking about all the things that he did have to eat. The Bible says, yo, listen to, you see when you have not experienced something, you saying it out of your mouth comes easy. You saying, "Oh, I'll starve and I'm not gonna eat no crickets." That comes easy out of your mouth, easy out of your mouth. But guess what? Guess what? When the time comes, the Bible says, God says, better it is a man to die by the sword than to die from starvation. It's the worst thing. God is telling you that. He was the one who made what we call starvation. So he's telling you, better it is for you to die by a sword than to you to pine away in starvation. It's better. I'm telling you. And remember, you can't kill yourself. That means you'll just be there begging for death in hunger. I'm not eating insects, no. Listen, you can do what you want. Nobody ain't telling you what to do. I'm telling you what you can do. So if you are starving and you living in America or you living in the UK, you living anywhere on the planet and you see crickets a lot, that's a source of food that you can eat and it's clean. You say you're not eating, let me ask you a question. Aura Irie, have you ever eaten pork before? Have you ever eaten pork before? Okay then, pork is an abomination. Pork.
Eat crab or shrimp.
You ever eat crab or shrimp or lobster?
Those are insects.
No, I know you don't know. I know you don't know more, but have you ever eaten them? Have you ever eaten them before? Even if it's one time in your life, have you ever eaten them before? Have you ever eaten these things before? I have eaten prawns. Okay. So when you eat prawns, you actually ate a cockroach. I don't anymore. It's not if you don't anymore. You say you never eat insects, but you already did. See, when you ate the prawns, when you ate the prawns, right? When you ate that, did you look at it nasty? No, you didn't. You ate it with your chest high and your taste buds feeling tingly and nice. So when you ate prawns, you was eating a cockroach. So you'd rather eat a cockroach many years ago. Yeah, many years ago, but you did it with no form of resistance. You ate prawns, which is a cockroach with no forms of resistance. That was unclean. You ate pork with no forms of resistance. That was unclean. You hear what I'm saying? You've eaten many things that has been unclean, right? An abomination. Because guess what? Prawns is from the arthropod family. You know what is the arthropod family? The arthropod family is an exoskeleton family. Now, what is the exoskeleton family? A family where their skeleton is outside of the body. Now, what type of things have skeletons outside of their bodies? Cockroaches, shrimp, crab. What else? Ticks. You know ticks. You know a fat tick. Ticks. They're all exoskeleton. They're all from the arthropod family. You have land ones, so it is above, so it is below. So when you ate prawns, which is crayfish, by the way, you ate a tick. You ate a cockroach. It's just a sea version. You have the land version of everything. You have the land whale and you have the friggin' sea whale. What's the land whale? An elephant. What's the sea whale? A whale. That big ass, heavy ass thing. And if you look at their texture, whale. You ever seen a movie with whale meat? You ever seen a movie with elephant meat? They look the same. You have a tiger on the land and you have a sea shark. It's like you have a sea tiger or a tiger shark. Everything on the land, you have it on what? In the sea. No, but that's the thing. It has nothing to do with scavenger. It has to do with the fact that they're family. Ticks and cockroaches are family. Cockroaches and shrimp are family. Cockroaches and crabs are family. Cockroaches and lobster is family. Cockroaches and crayfish or prawns is family. Saltfish is actually wait name cod. And then some people sell other fish that are saltfish and they all have fins and scales. The Bible says you can eat and I've seen a saltfish with its proper head. The saltfish with a weird ass head, that's a lie. I've seen a saltfish with a proper head. It's just a cod. Codfish, saltfish. So it doesn't really matter where, or you would say all fishes are scavengers, but a fish is not a scavenger if a fish is eating what is in the sea for it to eat. It was made for it to eat. Remember, we're not going out with boats feeding fishes off the side of the boat. So who feeds them? What you say they're scavenging off, that's not scavenge. That's them eating what was made for them to eat. Coral, all those things at the bottom of the sea, that's what fish was meant to eat. Salted codfish, not saltfish. As I said, the majority of saltfish, which is 80% of saltfish, is codfish. The next 20% is other fish, and that other fish still has fins and scales. How do we know this? Because the same scales are the same size of the scales on the codfish is the same size of the scales on the other salted fish. And they all have scales and they all have fins. We always see fins and scales on our salted fish or on our codfish. So it doesn't really matter. The Bible says as long as it has fins and scales, we can eat it. Listen, you can eat whatever you want. You don't like. Listen, I personally, as long as it has fins and scales, I'm gonna eat it. So you don't have to eat anything. You can do whatever you please. You can do whatever you want. But let me ask you this one question: the food that you eat, do you buy it or do you grow it? We don't have to eat it. What do you mean we don't have to eat it? When we get the powers of the Most High, we won't have to eat anything, but yet we're still gonna eat. So we can eat it. It's a choice. Just like how it's a choice for you to eat the vegetables and the fruits only. I'm in England. So if you're in England, that means that every single form of food, the majority of food that you have is GMO food. The reason why that is because there's a big study going on in England and people are being charged and brought to court for even the people in the markets that are selling the so-called non-GMO food and put non-GMO stickers on their food. They've actually just been going to the store and buying food and selling the same store-bought fruits to you at a higher price, saying it's non-GMO. So when you vegetarians, let me ask you a question again. Do you think that you're better than a meat eater because you eat vegetables? Let me ask you a question. Because of your vegetable consumption, right? Isn't all your vegetable, if you're in the UK, that means the majority of your vegetable comes from abroad. That means plane emissions, car emissions, truck emissions. All these vehicles have to go from all these places just to get to your local store so you can have your vegetables. Think about that. The majority of it is also GMO. So you're eating GMO vegetables and you're also putting a big carbon footprint on the earth because you're not growing your own vegetables, being a so-called vegan. Every so-called vegan is supposed to grow their own food because y'all always speak about how the meat industry is putting a big carbon footprint on the earth. So are you. As a matter of fact, vegetable is sold more than meat. Vegetable on the planet is sold more than meat. Did you know? Vegetable is sold and eaten more than meat because animals eat vegetables and fart out stink ass gas still. Y'all eat vegetables, humans eat vegetables. Vegetables, fruits are eaten more than meat. Did you know that? Mush, you care and nurse your animals. You're so lucky I don't have the option in England. I don't trust none of it. Yeah, but you don't trust none of it. But even if you don't trust one side, the side you do trust is still wrong. And then on top of that, because of your consumption of vegetable, you should have been consuming vegetable in its season. Meaning when there's a season for it, that's when you eat it, because you're supposed to rock with the season. But all through the year, you have apples. All through the year, you have carrots. All through the year, you have bananas. All through the year, you have plantain. All through the year, you have mangoes. All through the year, you have avocados, especially avocado, because you're literally, wherever the avocado is in season on the earth, you are willing to buy it in hordes so that you can store it in one place and eat it all through the year. Who told you that we were supposed to be eating like that? We weren't supposed to be eating like that. We were never supposed to be eating fruits as we see it. Oh, every day I'm gonna eat me an orange, a banana, a this, a that. No, we were supposed to eat fruits in their season. But y'all are consumers. So y'all just go to the shop or to the store and buy what y'all are buying, right? Not knowing where it came from, not knowing what season, not knowing what vibration it's bringing, not knowing what magnetism is bringing, and then just consume it in your body, and then you're wondering why you're getting sick. It's not only because of the white man, but it's also because of you. You are not bonding with the earth. You're not eating with the earth. You're not living with the earth. You're not moving as the earth is. When you eat avocado all through the year, like, come on now, for real now, when does avocado bear all through the year? When? It doesn't. In different places of the earth, it bears at a different month. And because you can, and what happens is when this place is finished this month and you ordered all their avocado, you order from the next place in the next month. But remember, you're in one place doing this. The place that gave the avocado in this month, once avocado is done, they ain't gonna eat no avocado. So the sellers of the avocado growers, they're not gonna eat avocado until it comes back to season. What you are eating, the consumer is eating avocado from January to December. And you think that is good. You think, oh, that's good for you. That's good for your belly. That's good for your belly. It's not good for your spirit. You're supposed to eat in season. Remember, you're going with the people always talk about, oh, let's go with the vibration of the earth. How are you going with the vibration of the earth if you're eating from every single part of the earth with their season, and you're not even living in that part? You're living it up. Remember, anywhere you're at, the magnetism is working with you there. So any fruit that is grown by magnetism. Remember that it's grown by magnetism and waves. So if you're eating fruit, if you're eating magnetized food from all over the earth throughout the year, you're getting all that different vibration. So you and your soul, so basically and where you're standing is not on that same magnetism. So basically you're confusing yourself just by how you eat seal. You're confusing, so that's the reason why what do you call it, people who are vegans, I don't really care about like how, like when they tell me, oh, I can't eat meat, I don't really care about that, because in reality, if it's clean meat, I can eat it as much as I want. I just need to do it in season. Right now, my dinner is peas. My wife made this nice peas. We call it gongo peas. This nice peas, like y'all have black eyed peas and stuff. She made this nice peas. Because peas is meat, right? Grains. You know what I'm saying? Beans. This nice bean. It's basically a bean stew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. She made a nice little bean stew. Yesterday I had fish tacos. You know what I'm saying? Tomorrow I'm gonna eat meat again. We have to do, and guess what? Fish with fins and scales. Tomorrow I might eat some curry goat. Tomorrow I might eat some oxtail. Who knows? But it's gonna be clean meat. That's the point. That's why the Bible says we shouldn't have contentions about meat and vegetables. We shouldn't have these contentions, because nobody wins. The meat, like the meat eaters, if they're eating the clean meat, they have not sinned. The vegetable eaters, if they're eating clean vegetables, which are not GMO, they have not sinned. If they're growing their own food, they're not sinned. You know what I'm saying? But many of you meat eaters can't say nothing to each other because the meat eaters ain't growing their own cows, their own goats, right? And the vegetable eaters, y'all ain't growing none of your own vegetables or even your own fruits. So why y'all arguing? Why do y'all have a pot to piss in? No, that's my point. I'm not talking to you, sister. I'm talking to anybody who is a meat eater or a vegetarian that doesn't raise their own animals. Even if you're raising your own animals and they're not in fruition as yet and you're buying meat, that's even okay. Because at least you're trying to raise the animals so one day you don't have to buy meat anymore. But I'm talking about the ones, I'm talking about y'all who don't even think about or not even thinking about moving out of a society that you can't raise animals in, and you're just planning to be there forever and not raise animals. You want to live off your little fucking retirement money and not live off a farm and animals, right? Or a farm if you don't eat meat, you know what I'm saying? And vegetables or whatever and fruits, right? Without growing it. If y'all ain't thinking like that, then y'all just need what pot do you have to piss in? The meat that I eat ain't no human meat though. The meat that I eat ain't no human meat. And when you say it's human meat, listen, you can go to a butcher's and get meat. Stop the foolishness. You can go to a butcher's and get meat. And then you can also go to the supermarket and buy meat that is human meat. Or human parts are found in it. If you go to a butcher's, you can get meat. Because at least you'll see what the meat is. And the meat will looks totally different from the butchers. The meat that you get from the butchers looks almost what do you call it? And don't go to no what do you call it? Those commercial butchers. Don't go to a commercial butcher. Go to a family butcher and there's many of them. There is many of them. So nobody tell me they can't go. When you go to a family butcher or a non-commercial butcher, the meat looks almost purple or even brown, no matter, I'm saying, like as it pertains to if it's a land type of meat. No matter what type of land meat it is, it's supposed to look like purple brownish, right? Almost darkish color. When you buy meat from the store, that meat looks red because it's dyed. It also has human parts in it, and they also put glue. They've also been gluing meat together. So nobody can't tell me, oh, the meat has human in it. No, the meat from the supermarket has human in it. The only thing you should worry about any meat at all is the fact that the meat from both the supermarket and from the butcher, because you're in a foreign country, is mixed. Basically hybrid meat. You know what I'm saying? As it pertains to, a lot of y'all don't know, I'm talking about mole head goats and mole head cows and stuff like that. Cows without horns and goats without horns, right? Those are hybrid, right? So that's the only thing that you might have to, think about. The fact that this meat, even though in the butcher it's real, like the non-commercial butcher, it still might just be hybrid. But fish, stuff like fish, the fish is not hybrid because they have fish that are raised in ponds, and you should know the pond fishes that they're actually raising and selling y'all from the ones that they get directly from the sea. So you can buy meat, you can access meat, I'm saying, that is not hybrid and that is not abomination. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter what the agenda is. You're talking about clone meat and you keep on talking about meat. You keep on addressing meat. But what about your clone vegetables? They're cloning vegetables also. Did you know? Did you know that the majority of vegetables that you eat is not even real? Did you know that the majority of vegetables that y'all like to see in your stores, when you go to the store as a vegetarian, you know the reason why you're a vegetarian? Is because when you go to the store, you have a whole 3, 4, 5 different shelves of friggin' food, and half of it is not even real. It was all genetically modified and created. But you feel so good. Why are you not talking about that? That's my point. Like, why are you so focused on the meat, but you're not focused on the vegetable? You see how Satan works? He won. Satan won, my sister. Your brain, no disrespect, is fucked. Because this is what I'm trying to show you, that whether you look at the meat for the next 20 years, the vegetable is fucked too. You're not getting it. Why does Elon Musk buy up all the lands off the face of the fucking Western Hemisphere? Why is he doing that? Slakia, Bill Gates. Why is Bill Gates buying up all the lands on the Western Hemisphere? Why is he? Why is he doing that? All the lands, so he can give you, so he can be your farmer. You're not listening. Think about this. Lack of knowledge goes a far way. If you're not eating meat, then what are you worried about? You should be worried about what you are eating, and you're not. You should be worried about the fact that you're eating vegetable that's abomination. And you're not worried about that. You're too focused. Y'all vegetable eaters are too focused on the meat. Y'all vegetable eaters are too focused on the meat to the point where you don't even realize what vegetables y'all are eating. Oh, that's a new vegetable. It is new fruit. It looks so nice. You don't even look it up to see if it's genetically modified. You just been yamming it. You just been yamming it. Even a lot of your nuts are fake. You never knew? Now you know. And I know you ain't living off no nuts. I know as a vegetarian, you eat vegetable, you eat nuts, and you eat fruits. So, yeah, we all have at some point, but you all never speak on it though. I've never seen a live with a vegetarian talking about what are the dangers of just buying vegetable randomly. I've never heard a conversation like that. Tell me one live you've ever seen like that. You telling me that every day you just get up and eat nuts? If you go up and eat nuts every day, you'll be dizzy as shit. A person who says they get up and eat nuts don't I'm not saying you're a liar, but I'm saying that I'm saying you're lying. Shit. Why? Because if you eat too much nuts, not eating other foods, or not and just nuts, you'll get dizzy. Literally, it will give you a form of a high. I've done that before. Nuts is not something normal. It's not dangerous.
Yes, sure.
It's not dangerous. But you just eating nuts all day for lunch, breakfast, and dinner, you're gonna get dizzy. All day you're feeling dizzy and you're wondering why. Everybody, you see what I'm saying? She's still talking about flesh. We're not talking about flesh and she's still talking about flesh. I just addressed the meat. And she keeps on dodging the vegetable. This is why I don't be friendly on TikTok. Because you see she keeps on doing that, I'm gonna keep on doing this. Your vegetable is GMO. You don't plant none of your food. And the majority of the vegetables you eat is not even fucking real. That's killing you off. Are you saying that GMO vegetable ain't killing nobody off? Are you saying that when a person who consumes meat and a person who consumes GMO vegetables, the one who eats a GMO veg is gonna live and the one who eats the meat is gonna die? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? Potatoes are real, and so are carrots. Potatoes are real, and so are carrots. There's many forms of carrots. What it is this. The original corn was purple. The original cabbage was purple. The original carrot was purple. A lot of these vegetables, the original ones were purple. They were purple. When I was a child, I never saw this corn that we eat today. I saw an orange form of corn. I actually got one the other day from my brother. It's like orange. The corn that we see today is yellow. Broccoli was purple. Everything was purple. Everything purple. Because our melanin underneath a microscope is purple. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? The onions, purple. Everything was purple. Not everything, but you know what I mean. A lot of the vegetables are purple. Purple yam. A lot of these foods are root foods. So when we notice that they're root foods, a lot of these root foods are real, but they have made them into their own way or their own version of it. And for them to make potato, bro, that means they took it from something that was real. Because they couldn't make a potato out of fresh air, right, brother? They couldn't make a potato out of fresh air, so they got other forms of yams and potatoes and made their own. Dasheen, everything was purple. But this is the point. What's that?
Dasheen still purple.
No man, yeah, some of them not purple.
Okay.
The majority of them, purple. And when you bust it open, purple. But you have some Dasheen nowadays they seen at the market, and then white like, you know what they say. Like everything are white out, mama, is it?
Okay.
Yeah, eat that, yeah.
Yes. That is better.
I'm gonna water it, that's right. Leave that shit, man. I'm dying. Where I go? Yeah, so lucky I went for some water. Family, I'm gonna end the live though. I'm gonna end the live. Cause tomorrow I should have some shit to do. I got my normal daily things, but I got some stuff. But you know, it's like you can't put your faith in people. But I should have some people coming to do some shit, some work. Hopefully they come to do it, so I have to get a look of resting, you get me? Yeah. But broccoli. Everything was supposed to be purple. Everything. As simple as that. So the people who eat vegetables, you all need to focus on what vegetables you all are eating. The people who eat meat, you all need to focus on what meat you all are eating. Simple as that. And stop focusing on each other's shit. People who eat meat deal with people who eat meat. Now, the people who eat meat, we have a contention with the ones who eat unclean meat. The people who eat clean meat, right, they're the ones that we're with. They're the ones that are keeping the laws of God. You're clean animals. People who eat unclean animals, they're the ones that they're the ones that the vegetarian should have a contention with. You shouldn't have a contention with someone who is eating clean animals. If they were eating unclean animals, then the contention is there. But without them eating unclean animals, there shouldn't be any contention. Stop the foolishness. Stop it. Calm down. With that being said, much love, much blessings. Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings to everybody on the live. The whole duty of man is to keep the laws of the Most High and keep it and fear Him. Keep the laws, statutes, and commandments and fear Him. That's the whole duty of man. Stay focused. The whole duty of man is to fear the Most High and keep His commandments. Shalom, shalom, blessings.
Leave it, you said.